So with us today is Jacob Hudnut. Jacob is one of our fantastic criminal defense attorneys here. He's actually very excited. He said, first time in the studio. He's usually in the social media room. And now that we have you in the studio, we wanted to put you not behind the bars, but in front of the bars, which is what Jacob does. He keeps our clients in front of the bars, not behind the bars. He's a fantastic criminal defense attorney. Today, we're talking about something called felony murder. And that's different than intentional murder or manslaughter or negligent murder, negligent homicide. What is felony murder, Jacob?
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
Good. Excited to be here. Felony murder is when you can be charged with murder, even though you did not have a plan to go out and commit murder. Basically, this happens when you are committing a crime, and in the midst of that crime, a person dies. You don't necessarily have to pull the trigger, point the gun at them. Let's say you're robbing a bank and on the way out you drop your gun and it hits a teller, the bullet, that could be a felony murder charge.
So felony murder is you wake up one morning and you say, and you commit a crime. You have a premeditated intent to commit a crime. I'm going to go rob a bank. I'm going to go steal a car. I'm going to, I don't know, sexual assault. I'm going to steal something from Macy's. Whatever it is. And then in the process of you committing this crime, somebody dies. Like in the movies when they go to rob the bank and they shoot the bank guard who's guarding, and then they run out the bank with the money, that would be felony murder.
Yes.
Okay, and what is the difference between that and manslaughter then?
Okay, well, manslaughter basically occurs when you don't have any premeditation to do anything wrong. Manslaughter can happen when, let's say, you're driving recklessly, whether you're under the influence of alcohol or you're driving to evade the police, and you're exhibiting an indifference toward the human life that is around you. It could also be in the heat of the moment. You walk in on your spouse, they're cheating on you right then and there, you pick up something and kill one of them. So they're things that don't contemplate any premeditation at all, but somebody dies.
And that's versus intentional murder where you wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to go kill this person.
Yes.
Versus negligent homicide. What would negligent homicide be compared to manslaughter?
Getting inebriated and driving your vehicle. And hitting another car, and those people die. The other big difference too is, let's say we rob a bank together.
Let's say we do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You decide to shoot the guard.
Right? I shoot the guard.
Yeah, you get hot-headed, you shoot the guard.
And you're sitting there next to me.
I'm in the car. I'm the getaway driver.
Okay. Right.
I can be charged with your
felony murder.
Yes.
What if I'm not committing a felony? What if I'm swiping a pair of shorts from Macy's, and on the way out, running out, the guard says, "Hey, stop!" and I turn around and point my gun, to try to scare him, and unfortunately it goes off. I didn't mean to actually shoot him, and I kill him, but I'm committing a misdemeanor. I'm not committing a felony. Is that still felony murder?
That would not be felony murder. I'm sure they'd hit you with some type of manslaughter for acting that recklessly, having that gun in public. But that would not, you could not bootstrap felony murder to that.
So what is the sentence for a felony murder? They take that very seriously here in New York and New Jersey, I assume.
In New Jersey, your sentence will be anywhere from 30 years to a life in prison. And you will be eligible for parole, if at all, no less than 30 years.
So if you are in the process of committing a crime and somebody dies, you don't even have to intentionally, it could have been totally negligent.
Yes.
Okay, somebody dies while you are in the process of committing a felony, you're going to jail for 30 years to life.
Yes, in New Jersey. Here in New York, it's no ifs, ands, or buts, no two ways about it. It's a life sentence.
It's a life sentence. You're in jail for almost your entire life.
Yes.
Now, recently, it's very interesting to talk about this, but recently also Jacob handled a case where his client was charged with felony murder. Tell us about that case.
We were actually, our goal is to avoid the felony murder charge. We represent a young man charged as an adult who took somebody's cell phone. Foolish, dumb mistake. The person whose cell phone it was ran after our client to get his phone back. One of the client's friends decided to clock the guy. One of his friends was on
What do you mean
the scene.
clock him? Like literally punch him in the face?
Yes. police came that was charged as a robbery.
Right.
Okay.
Even this is almost equivalent to stealing, stealing a telephone is like equivalent to stealing a pair of shorts in Macy's.
Yes.
In a way.
And once there's theft involved, that's the difference between theft and robbery is the use of force. So if you're forcefully stealing a pair of shorts, sure, they can make that into a robbery.
Into a robbery, and now you're a felon.
Yes.
So when he forcibly took the phone from somebody, that there was some sort of force involved, that made it a felony, versus walking through and Macy's. I don't know why I always use Macy's as the example. I don't want anyone to go steal anything in Macy's, but I always use that as the example. Walking through Bloomingdale's or whatever, walking through Sam's clothing, 99-cent clothing store. It really doesn't matter. And the clerk looks the other way, and you take the shorts and you go like this, and you stick it in. That's not a robbery. That's just
no force.
There's no force. That's a theft.
Assume that the man had his phone out on the counter, and the kid took it.
Right.
Theft.
So in your particular case, he forcibly took it, which made it a robbery,
Yes.
and then a felony,
Yes.
and then in the process of running away from this guy, another,
An
associate of your
yes.
client, a big dummy,
Yeah.
comes over, clocks the guy in the head,
Yes.
and he died?
So the case proceeded as a robbery, and then unfortunately the victim died from those injuries.
Oh my God, terrible.
The client was exposed to a felony murder charge for the co-defendant's actions.
And he was looking at jail. This was in New Jersey or New York?
New York.
He was looking at jail for life. For literally, a guy has a telephone in his hand, he forcibly takes it away, runs away, and his friend who he was hanging out with punches the guy in the face, and ultimately this guy dies. And this is a client of ours who was running away with the phone. Obviously, he did something wrong. He stole the phone. He should never have. He certainly shouldn't have been hanging out with this guy who's going to turn around and clock this guy in the face and eventually kill him. He hit him so hard. I mean, there's nothing good that happened here, but he was looking at the rest of his life in jail for stealing this telephone.
Yes.
And he comes to Jacob Hudnut. What do we do for this guy?
We present mitigation, his age, what he's been up to while he's being detained on these charges, and we are going to be able to limit his exposure to just the robbery charge.
Well, that's wonderful.
Which is keeping it fair because it was the knucklehead friend that really escalated.
Right. So he will eventually serve jail time.
Yes.
But he will not be serving for the rest of his life. But it's very, very, whenever you are charged with a crime, if there is a death and you had nothing to do with it, but there was a death that was involved while a crime that you are being charged with was taking place, or maybe this death happened months later, but the injury happened, you can go to jail for the rest of your life.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Scary stuff.
All right. Fantastic job, Jacob. Jacob Hudnut from Spar Bernstein Criminal Defense. What I tell everybody right now is you don't want to be behind those bars. You want to be in front like we are. So save our telephone number. It's 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. It's the same telephone number that you call to get on our show, to get your legal questions asked. It's the same telephone number for my law office. And what I tell everybody to do is pick up the phone, dial the number, hang up, and you hear Fiona or whoever's answering our phone, "Hi, Spar and Bernstein, how can I help you?" Click, you hang up, but now you have that telephone number saved in your phone for life. God forbid you need good criminal defense attorneys. You don't know if you're going to need to call at 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, on Saturday, on Sunday, on New Year's Eve. You have no idea. Have good lawyers saved in your phone. The difference between you behind those bars or in front of those bars or somebody you love or a friend is the lawyers you choose. So please try to choose Spar and Bernstein. We're going to have our attorneys come on every so often. Jacob Hudnut, fantastic job. And the telephone number is 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAWLINK, 1-800-529-5465. Obviously, prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Jacob, thanks for joining, and welcome to our studio. All right.